Thanks for joining us again today with our guest, Stephen Dunn. Stephen is with the Baxter Regional Medical Center Home Health, which covers both Marion and Baxter counties. And we've been talking about, so far today, the telehealth machine. And would you go over everything one more time with me, Stephen, about what that does?
Well, I guess the purpose of this is to keep the patient safe, continued safe in their home.
Okay.
What this does, it keeps an extra eyes on the patient between the visits. It doesn't replace visits at all, like we said before.
So the nurses still all come in and...
Exactly, like they would normally. This is for patients who need that extra care. They're high risk for readmission to the hospital. They need just a little more than the regular patient would need. This is a video system, and the nurse can see the patient through this.
That's a camera. Camera, okay.
It's an easy to use touchscreen system for elderly people, like we said, who don't even know how to turn on their desktop computer, but they can use this. The nurse will get on there at a certain time, say they have a visit at 10 a.m. They'll call the patient. This will ring like a regular phone, and the patient will come up and he'll just, push the button, answer, and it'll come on, and the nurse will be looking at him. How you feeling today, Mr. Smith?
That is just incredible.
Exactly, and what hooks up to this is several peripherals, what we call them, including a scale, a blood pressure monitor,
the stethoscope you brought with us today.
And with the stethoscope, the nurse can listen to lung sounds, heart sounds, bowel movements, things like that. And what this does, it never lets the patient drop out of the scope of care. It's for those patients that just need continued monitoring to get them through that hard time in their life.
Right.
And it's been beneficial so far.
Oh, I bet. We were talking earlier about the percentage changes since these have gone into the home nationwide for high-risk patients through home health agencies. And the camera, I find that fascinating. It can be taken off and moved so that if someone will say, okay, I've really got a lot of edema, swelling in my legs today from too much water, they can point the camera down and show the nurse. And take the nurse. Yeah, that's amazing.
Technology has came so far.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
And as you said earlier, it's all getting cost-wise, it's becoming more easy to purchase because the cost has been lowered.
Yeah, and everybody knows when a computer, like one of the phones, first come out, they're ridiculously expensive. And now this technology is getting to where now we can use this in a home. The hospitals had this in like the ER, I know, for a long time.
Yep.
And we've seen great benefits from that, but now we're able to put that in the home.
Sure.
And that's where kind of healthcare is going toward, preventative care.
Absolutely. We've got it in our intensive care unit, has telehealth.
Yeah.
We've got it up in our women's center for high-risk pregnancies.
Oh, wow.
So that women aren't traveling down to Little Rock, that we can confer. They can do a conference call with Little Rock.
That's great.
It's just amazing. And of course, like you mentioned, in a Klein Emergency Center also has it.
Yeah.
So
so it's getting
for
more,
stroke patients. So.
More and more relevant. So, but like we said before, the statistical numbers that we're seeing from this is great. Patients are improving from the added care, and the bad numbers we don't like to see, like readmissions into the hospital, survival rates of patients, they're getting a lot better, and which is something we really want to see. So it's definitely great.
Well, I would imagine too with some of the senior folks, and not that that's the only category that you deal with, but I'm thinking of our seniors, that if they're at high risk, if they're home alone, what a comfort this must be. It's actually socialization. You've got, that you're going to be not only see a nurse 2 or 3 times physically during the week, but you've got contact right there. Is it a 24/7 that it's monitored, or just throughout the day?
Basically throughout the day. We at Home Health, we do have 24/7 nurses on call. What this does, it kind of tracks the patient daily, and the nurse can watch that trend, where the patient's headed. Weight gain, weight loss, blood pressure's up or down. And then what that does, if they see something out of whack, they can intervene with that quickly.
Sure.
Rather than let that go for 2 or 3 days
Yeah.
till the next visit,
Yeah.
and then they come for the visit and say, "Whoa, what happened?" You know,
Yeah. And
they
then
already they've already been with the doctor. The nurses talked to the doctor. They've made a plan what to do, set it in place, and the patient
awesome.
never, you know, reaches that point to where we got to put you in the hospital.
Much better health care.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Much better health care. So it's definitely a benefit.
Well, if you had someone, now we talked about that this is primarily for high-risk folks. What is available for those that are receiving home health after their hospital visit, but are there some safety measures available to them?
There's also technology for that level. We have what we call the personal emergency response systems. And if you've ever seen those commercials on TV with the people wearing the button and they're laying on the floor, help, I'm falling in, I can't get up, we have that at the hospital. Now, this is something that home health patients will receive, but anybody in Baxter and Marion counties can receive this, whether they're a home health patient of the hospital or not. So we want to, you know, get that out there to anybody who could benefit from it.
Is there a cost involved on that?
If they're a home health patient, we provide that free of charge to them to keep them, you know, keep them where we want them safe. If somebody outside, if they're not receiving home health but would like it, yes, we can hook that up for them, and just, you know, call our office and we'll talk about it.
Can you give us that number, Stephen?
Yeah.
So while we think of it.
508-1790.
1790, and that's for Baxter County.
Yes.
Okay, and they could give the Marion County information.
Absolutely. Yeah. But what this button does, it's just something that they wear around their neck, and they can wear it in the shower. It's waterproof. Wear it outside, working in the garden or whatever. It works in a radius around the house, about 300 to 500 feet.
Oh, wow.
Around the central unit of the house.
Okay.
And
so if somebody's outside gardening and the sun, they've been out there too long and feel a little lightheaded from sunstroke maybe, or of course if they're a home health person, they probably shouldn't be out there doing that.
Yeah,
but maybe
some of ours do. You know, they're stubborn. They like to live their life the way I look at it. But this button, they push the button and it contacts as an emergency medical dispatcher. Most of them are trained paramedics that answer the call. They say, "Mr. Smith, are you okay?" And if nobody answers, they get ambulance moving and
sent out there.
Send out help. And then they'll go through a list of contacts, say your neighbor. They'll call your neighbor if you want your neighbor contacted, or your son or your daughter, and they'll call them people and say, your dad pushed his button, and we just wanted to let you know we have ambulance headed out that way. So you know, generally they'll head that way too.
And what a peace of mind, what a relief for adult children that, you know, mom or dad is home alone and insists on still living in their own home and all of that.
And you know, that's oftentimes the alternative that they're facing. They're at that point where really it's not all that safe for them to still live at home. But you are not going to get them to move out of their house no matter what. So that's where they're at.
So put as many safety measures in place as you can.
Most of the calls I get for these are from the sons and daughters.
I was going to say the adult children going, I'm worried to death about mom or dad, but they will not.
What can we do? And they're spreading like wildfire. I mean, you ask any of your neighbors, they probably have one. And definitely something that is just a feel-good thing. We have a lot of patients calling and saying, "Hey, I used it and I just want to say this was great, it worked great, it saved my life." And so that makes you feel good.
Sure.
Stuff like that. So definitely something that will make the whole family feel a lot better about mom and dad living at home together. So,
you know, I know too, and just so we can wrap this up today, Stephen, and get as much information out there as possible, it kind of triggered the thought, we've got the technology available for folks, but I know that you also go in and do assessments of the home to make sure that's safe. Can you tell our viewers what some of the things are you're looking for?
Some of the things our nurses look at when they go in the home is tripping hazards, adequate lighting.
Scatter rugs, yeah.
Scatter rugs.
They gotta go.
There's simple things that you can fix that. If they just will not give up the scatter rugs, put some double-sided tape on the bottom of those. If at all possible, get them out of the way.
Yeah.
If possible, arrange the furniture where you're not walking through a maze to get from the kitchen to the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Make easy access in and out of the house. Lighting in the hallways at night.
Lots of lighting.
Lighting in the bathroom. Yeah. A lot of our patients have falls that can be easily avoided.
Mm-hmm. With just so simple things being done.
Sure. You know, some people don't think, well, maybe I should go over to mom and dad's house and make sure they're safe. And it's something that our nurses are trained to almost instinctively do when they go inside a home.
Where are there bars in the tub? Are there bars by the commode? Are there, you know, like you said, the lighting and making sure that putting everyday items, food or dishes or whatever, at a level so mom's not getting on a step stool and like she's done for years.
Like we were talking about earlier, preventative.
Yeah.
Preventative care is where we're at and where we're headed. We want to prevent the things that happen, not necessarily treat them. Once they do happen, we'll treat them, of course. But if at all possible, we want to prevent them.
Let's prevent it right at the
we
beginning.
don't want them to happen from the beginning.
You bet.
So that's where we're at.
All right, Stephen, thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you.
It's been a long time. You got married since the last time you were here. Congratulations.
I love it. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for joining us. Join us again next time for BRMC's Healthy Connections. We've got great shows coming up through the summer, and we just sure love to have you join us. See you again soon.